With the rise right now of like anti-Semite rhetoric in Hungary, especially with certain parties like the Jobbik and the Fidesz, and the recent closing of opposition newspapers like the Népszabadság and a lot of radios, what is how as like foreigners, how can we support and help activist groups in Hungary? How can what is the future of democracy within Hungary right now? Because the situation is alarming with Orbán and what's happening, and how can we fight anti-Semitism in Hungary that is rampant and very vocal, especially, and anti-local sentiment too is very present.
Boycotting is it's a kind of double-edged weapon, because sometimes boycotting punishes those people as well. For example, I supported very much when Buchtheater said that they are not going to Budapest, to such a festival, which was called often by the director of the National Theatre. But it's, if you think about it, it's because I love Buchtheater and I couldn't go to see. So it's a big question, like all the boycott. It doesn't matter if it's Soviet Union. So but you know, in the 80s, mid 80s, Western intellectuals like Susan Sontag or Schwarzenberg, or all these people found a very good method that they invite people, and no one could determine whom you invite. So you can invite the right people. So it seems that instead of boycotting, it's better, you know, to invite those people, theater makers, you know, with the Erasmus, on the university levels, on civic rights, networking, etc., etc. So what I'm suggesting is inviting. That's a great help for those people. Of course, it seems it's not a help for the Népszabadság, and it's not a help what to do generally in Hungary. But I think it's on the, because I'm not able, and I don't even want to give direct advices. What I'm suggesting is, I think it's going to be published very soon, a long essay of Kornai, János Kornai, professor of Harvard, and I think he writes a very important essay. He wrote a very important essay, which is really important not only in Hungary but generally in the States, in Europe, etc. It talks about autocracy, and it talks about the hard seed. Of course, I'm simplifying it not very much. It talks about that autocracy autocracy never develops or could develop, but these autocracies, what we have now, they don't want to develop into a dictatorship. It's a wrong idea. They want to stay authoritarian state, and the definition of the authoritarian state is that you cannot change the government. So it's not and first he had a big debate with Zakaria, with the illiberal democracy, what it is, and finally he defined it that if the government is working constantly, that he wins all the time the election. This is an authoritarian, this is an autocracy. And autocracy, what we have to pay attention, that this recipe tells that it could live for decades, because it doesn't turn into a dictatorship. And I'm not getting into details that some businessmen like very much the controlled and centralized, etc., business. So it's always easier, you know, to deal with an authoritarian state business-wise than in democracy. Sometimes it's simpler. So it's, on the one hand, invitation. On the other hand, don't let them do it here, that they start to do these businesses. You know, again, these are recipes of the 80s. The same thing was, you know, concerning Romania, etc.